Colleen, this is a grand theft auto suspect eastbound on the 10 freeway right behind the hill. So pardon this hill as we come around. We are actually trying to catch up with him as he is accelerating at a high rate of speed, weaving through moderate traffic here as he makes his way through the San Gabriel Valley. You'll be able to see a few peaks as we come around this hill of CHP in pursuit. LAPD had this pursuit in Hollenbeck Division, and they just had real hesitation once he got on the freeway, accelerating over 70 miles per hour. The watch commander put a stop to that, but then handed it off to the California Highway Patrol. Now it looks like he's getting off of the freeway, transitioning here onto the 57. So off of the 10 freeway onto the 57 at upwards of 90 to 100 miles per hour. It looks to be a compact Hyundai vehicle. Potentially an Elantra, something like that. In any event, at least 3 units right behind him. CHP trying to keep up with him, but you get the idea here. As you take a look at our picture, he is flying past everybody on the road. Now, the 57 looks to see much less traffic than the 10 freeway just behind him, but he is now going well over 100 miles per hour, a possible gang member in the driver's seat of this stolen vehicle, suspected stolen vehicle, as CHP picks up this pursuit, guys. We haven't heard any talk of a weapon, any speculation about that even. So it's certainly possible, especially considering that they believe he is affiliated with the gang. Always a possibility, but right now the deadliest weapon is that car right there on the freeway. He is zooming down the 57 freeway. It's a dangerous pursuit because of the speeds here. Other than that, though, I mean, by the way, on the 10 freeway with all the traffic in his way, he was really weaving through a lot of close calls as he was making his way out of downtown LA and onto, or out of East LA, I should say. And now you can see he's really got the 57 pretty much wide open. That is an accurate speed there, about 115 miles per hour with nobody in his way. It looks like they're trying to create a traffic break, but at these speeds, it's pretty difficult to do anything. The tactics are limited. They're just limited options with what they could do with a suspect like this, especially with other motorists, any other motorists on the road like this. I mean, just look at the speeds. You could just tell how much faster he is going than every other car in the vicinity here, upwards of 120 miles per hour now. Blacked out, by the way, lights out. His lights are off, which is really dangerous, and it's been like that ever since LAPD picked up the pursuit. They felt comfortable with him when he was on surface streets in East LA, but once he got on the floor, look at this, he's losing it, almost with Fishtail almost wiped out into the median there. Wow, he is really struggling here if he continues at these speeds. One wrong twist of that steering wheel, and that's all it takes. Almost lost control of the vehicle right there, was able to regain control, luckily, almost wiped out, and you're really hoping he can maintain control, because if he wipes out, the potential of wiping out other innocent motorists is just way too high. Looking for an exit here as he gets all the way over to the shoulder. This is one of the faster pursuits we have seen in a couple of months, guys. He is really booking down the 57 freeway now. Yeah, still doing about $110, $115, and I should say, as he was transitioning back there, he got off of the 57 freeway onto the 60. So we now see ourselves on the 60 freeway going the opposite direction, back in the westbound direction as we start to retrace our steps here, except we're a few miles south of the 10, this time now on the 60 freeway, heading back towards the LA metro area, and once again, just weaving past anybody who happens to be in his lane, but he's not slowing down. That's the problem. If you weave through traffic at maybe 80 miles per hour, you can maintain control pretty easily depending on the vehicle. Once you get above 80 miles per hour, which is already a pretty fast speed, even though it's just above the speed limit, but once you get into 90 and 100 miles per hour, just changing lanes becomes a dangerous endeavor, and that's what we're seeing here. He is changing lanes at a high rate of speed, and really lucky so far that he is not wiped out. But you saw a close call, already a few close calls, as he pushes 115 miles per hour. I am actually a little bit surprised that CHP has managed to keep up with him, and I'm also a little bit surprised that they have made the call to continue this pursuit. This is one of those where, considering what we know, now we don't know what they know, but considering what we know, I'm almost a little bit surprised that they haven't called this one off. For some reason, they are managing and they are able to keep up with him. You know, as long as they feel comfortable and the watch commander is okay with it, they will continue the pursuit. But we have seen pursuits canceled at much lower rates of speed. Let's put it that way. Yeah. That's exactly right. It was LAPD's Hollenbeck Division, and they were pursuing him on surface streets where the driving was dangerous, but not nearly the speeds that we're seeing here. And once he got onto the freeway, LAPD said, you know what? It's not worth it. They kept the airship up to keep a close eye on him, and they gave CHP the option of picking up the pursuit. Now, CHP, if they had other things going on, maybe they wouldn't have done it, but in this case, they decided, you know what? Let's get this guy. Let's try and get him off the road. And sure enough, they are miraculously able to keep up with him. I got to tell you, an impressive job by CHP to safely keep up with him, and let's just hope that this doesn't end too ugly. But right now he is moving through the city of Industry at well over 100 miles per hour. That CHP SUV, nonetheless, a top-heavy vehicle in and of itself, able to keep up with him here. Pretty close, too, only about 8 or 10 car lengths behind him as he continues to push the pedal to the metal right past traffic. And the problem here is that as we make our way further towards the west, we're going to start to see traffic pick up a little bit. And if he continues these antics with more innocent drivers in his way, I worry about the desperation behind the wheel there and what this person might be capable of. Again, CHP managing so far to keep up with them. I think that could change at any moment. They might decide, you know what, this is just too risky. You're exactly right. At least he's turned his lights on in the last few minutes, so that's a good sign. You know, a compact car like this, especially a Hyundai like that, is a very fuel-efficient vehicle, capable of upwards 500 highway miles on one tank of gas. Now, of course, at these speeds, he is using up much more fuel, but suffice it to say, this can continue on for quite a while, depending on how much gas is in that tank. Look at that. all the way over the entire freeway from the shoulder all the way over to the number 4 lane, now heading back to the number 3 and trying to get over to the shoulder maybe again as he continues. He has not slowed down or let up at all as we make our way past the 605 freeway here. And again, I have to remind you, we are going to see traffic start to pick up a little bit. Just in cruising the area, I can tell you there are a number of weekend construction projects along various freeways that are getting started. It's just a heart-pounding pursuit to see somebody going that fast with no regard for anybody's safety here. Nonetheless, not even himself, forget that. I mean, he is just coming so close to wiping out and really colliding with some of these cars. He's getting very close and really threading the needle in some cases. Well, he doesn't have much time. At these speeds, it's going to be maybe 2 or 3 minutes before he gets closer to the East LA interchange here. Once he gets closer to the 710 freeway, that's where you're going to see a few more brake lights and definitely more volume on the freeway, even if it's not, I'm not talking about traffic jams, but just more people on the road. And I was a little more encouraged when he was going the opposite way, going away from the city. But as he makes his way closer to the busier parts of East LA, where there is so much going on this evening, the festival going on in Chinatown and other events, we've seen concerts going on. There's just a lot going on a Friday night with a lot more people on the road the further west we get here. So you can see him now all the way back in the number 1 lane. There is no shoulder here, but he is using every inch of asphalt that he has at his disposal to get around any cars in his way. And once again, look at that. In a split second, was able to cross all 4 lanes to get over to the right, maybe looking for an exit opportunity, or maybe he just was trying to get around traffic. I'm stunned that CHP has been able to keep up with this. But sure enough, they have, and there are additional units being dispatched to this pursuit. By the way, there's also an airship overhead. But at these speeds, the reason you're not seeing the night sun from that helicopter is likely because he's just going too fast. I got to tell you, we see oftentimes a night pursuit like this, you would expect to see that night sun. Once you get upwards of 100 miles per hour, controlling that night sun becomes a pretty challenging task. So that's why I believe you might see a night sun here. I don't even know if he's got it on, but yeah, he's really struggling to maintain control.
Bring the funk back.
Ooh. No, but he almost lost control again. I tell you, it was a little bit of a bounce, and again, all it takes is just one wrong move. I mean, inches play a role here at these speeds. Now he's forced to slow down. He's going to try and squeeze through these 2 vehicles and pick up speed once again. We're making our way through Montebello. That primary unit, he deserves an attaboy at the end of this one, because he has really done a magnificent job of putting the pressure on here. I just worry if that pressure is agitating this driver even more than he would be driving if there was nobody behind him or if they backed off a little bit. But nonetheless, CHP has made that decision to apply that pressure and continue this pursuit despite the risks, the obvious risks that we could see just from our vantage point up here. But he is continuing at a high rate of speed, getting through Montebello, closer to the 710 freeway here. We will see if he moves towards the transition or if he commits to the 60 freeway. The East LA interchange will be the next decision point here if he passes the 710. So we'll see what happens here in the next couple of minutes. Still doing upwards of 110 miles per hour. taking the transition into the East LA interchange here at a high rate of speed. He's actually on a surface street now. This is where it could get very, very dangerous. Now on South Lorena Street in Boyle Heights, getting off of the freeway just before the East LA interchange, and we'll go ahead and throw up the real-time speed tracker. He's doing at least 70, 60, or 70 miles per hour. If this driving continues, they will almost certainly, look at this, right through cross traffic. If this continues, they will be forced to suspend this pursuit and put it back into tracking mode. Again, LAPD has gotten more conservative in the last 6 to 12 months. They have had their series of bad crashes. LA County Sheriff, known for their conservative policies as well, but CHP has certainly decided to try at all costs to get this person off the road, and they seem to be the most adventurous, I would say, of all the departments in our immediate area here in LA County, and certainly this is proof of that this evening. Now, on surface streets, it becomes a much riskier proposition, and now it looks like, was that him, or did he? Yeah, he made the turn. He made the turn. They made the turn with him. They're continuing the pursuit. This is a side street coming off of Estrada, and now on very small, narrow residential streets here in Boyle Heights. We're going to try and get a little bit closer here. He's behind those buildings, coming up on another small intersection. These are very narrow, one lane going, one lane coming roads through kind of dips in and out of some warehouses, and then you can see we're back in a neighborhood here. That's not him. He's coming. He might have made a left here at the end there. Did he make a left? Yep, there he is. There he is. Or it made our left, his right. He made a right there, and there he is. Back on South Grand Vista Avenue, coming up on made the right turn there. And we'll see if there was a reason that he got off at this specific exit, or if it was more of a random decision because maybe he saw traffic. Now he's doing a full circle around here. This is the same block that he was on just a moment ago. And now we're going to start to maybe see some more random turns, unless he is familiar with this neighborhood. But he's not slowing down. I mean, he's certainly going much slower than he was on the freeway, but he is still going way too fast for this residential neighborhood. Dead end. It's a dead end. I think it's a dead end. Is that a dead end? Over the curb. Over the curb. It's a dead end. He's going over the curb, through the trees, and he's crashed into a tree. There he goes. Foot bail. He is bailed out. Only the driver getting out of the vehicle. He is now on the run. CHP now has their night sun on that suspect. As he comes around that building, we're going to try and get right over it. They have officers now in foot pursuit as they come around. You can see a playground there. It's an apartment complex. Several units now on his tail as he may be, did he go in or is he on the ground? I think he's on the ground. He is on the ground. He's got that, wow, man, this could have ended so horribly that this might be the best possible resolution to this pursuit. Wow. I mean, I'm just catching my breath, but man, great job by those CHP officers, not only catching up with him on the freeway, but keeping up with him and chasing him then on foot to the ground. Yes. A magnificent job from beginning to end by the California Highway Patrol. You know, a lot of really tough decisions, a lot of really hard calls to make if you're the boss guiding these officers, and they did a magnificent job. I just have to, you know, really give them that shout out, because this was one of the more dangerous high-speed pursuits we've seen in a minute.
Bring the funk back.
El Sereno.
Bring the funk back.